Today's lesson continues our look at geometric constructions. You would have recalled looking at parallel lines and bisecting lines in our last lesson. Today we will look at constructing some angles and dividing lines into an equal number of parts. So just to give you a little bit more practice using your compass, because the compass is critical, and also hoping that you understand that these basic constructions will be used a lot more as we go through other drawings. You'll be asked to come back and use this knowledge for the production of other drawings as well. We will start with construction number 1, which requires you to produce a 60-degree angle. I will just try to make that construction the focus of our page so that you're not terribly distracted by anything else that sits on your page, and we will just walk through this construction. As per usual, I will turn off one or two of the lines, because then that will give us the opportunity to look at the construction just a little differently as we work through. So just bear in mind that I'm turning off a few things, but hopefully we'll be able to turn them back on as we go along as well. So you're given line AB, and you're required to produce a 60-degree angle on line AB. The first thing that you will do is open your compass to a convenient radius. Convenient for you means not too big and not too small. And once you've opened to that convenient radius, compass at point A, you're able to scribe this arc. So this yellow line represents the first arc on your page, and that line intersects AB to give you point number 1. So once we reference point number 1, compass point goes to number 1, and you will scribe a second arc. That arc gives you point number 2. So that intersection at point number 2 is really the intersection that you need, because when you draw a line from A through that point at number 2, you would be representing the 60-degree angle. So if I drop in that line now, you will see that 60-degree line, which is an outline, represented on your page. So that is your 60-degree. And this now indicates that you have that 60-degree angle in position. Relatively simple construction. So we move now to our second construction, and this is to construct a 90-degree angle. Again, you're given a line AB, and I'll just once more take off some of the lines, because sometimes if you're seeing too many lines, it creates a problem. So we're just taking off a couple of your lines. And then hopefully we're able to drop them back in at the appropriate time. So you have AB, just like you did on the last construction, convenient radius, you scribe your second curve, and that gives you 1. You go to 1, you scribe a curve, and that gives you 2. So now we want to get 3. And if my memory serves me correctly, 3 is a yellow curve. So in this instance, compass point at 2, compass open to that same convenient radius, and you get this curve falling in at 3. You know that this curve is a big curve because we're going to be doing something with this curve all at the same time. Once you have that curve in, then you drop in that curve at number 4. So compass point at 3 now, and you can get this curve falling in at 4. Remember that the radius of the compass stays the same throughout each of these steps. So you're not adjusting, you're just using same convenient radius for each arc that you scribe. And if you were to draw a line then from A going through that point at 4, you would have produced a 90-degree angle. So if we are able then to show you those lines in position, then this represents that 90-degree angle. What you should note is that 90 degrees falls midway between 60 degrees and 120 degrees. And if you had drawn in that 60-degree line initially and that 120-degree line, then by bisecting that angle that you have formed there, you would end up producing the 90-degree angle. So that is basically how the construction works. Now, last lesson you were taught how to bisect some angles, and it must be noted at this time that these basic angles that I have set for you, 60 and 90, 60 and 120, coming back to 90, can be used to produce a number of other angles on your page. I want you to play with it. I want you to think about it, because if you can bisect a 90-degree angle, for example, you may get 45 degrees. And if you can bisect a 45-degree angle, you may get 22.5 degrees. Likewise, if you bisect a 60-degree angle, you will get 30 degrees. If you bisect 30, you can get 15. So the thought process has to be that there's some straightforward angles that you can produce by bisecting different angles. And I'm not just talking about acute angles that will fall before that 90 degrees. I'm also talking about obtuse angles, because you can have 105 degrees can be constructed, 150 degrees can be constructed. So please play with it. Work out where these angles fall, and then you can start with the base angles and do some bisecting to get you to where you want to be. Now, I'm going to just show you a little thing with regards producing parallel lines using your set square. This is just an example, but this example will serve you for the next construction that will be required to do. So what I've represented for you here is a line that I want to get other lines parallel to from these positions that I'm highlighting right here. Now, in order to do that, first let me just make this line stand out a little bit for you. So I'm going to highlight that line that I'm referring to so that you know the line that we're referencing right now. So that is the line now that you can see as the white line on the page. The set square then is lined up right on to that line. And once you have lined up the set square onto that line, what you will do is that you will place your straight edge, which is a ruler, or it can be another set square, right under your first set square. And once you have done that, you hold that second set square or that ruler in position, because the set square at the top will be able to slide along that straight edge to give you the parallel lines. So from the next position and the other position, we will be moving the set square, sliding it across, and once everything stays in position, then the lines are parallel. So just let me give you a little idea of what we're talking about. We will just show you a different position for the set squares as we work. So now you can see the set square moving to the new position, and at that new position, then you would be drawing in the line that you want. And then if you move, sliding along again to the next position, then again you would be lining up and drawing in the line that you want. So then you can see the set square sliding and giving you parallel lines from each position. So you will want to be able to use this construction, this example, just to get through the other constructions that we'll be looking at in this lesson. So on to the next construction. You have line AB, which is the dark line. That's your outline. And you want to divide line AB into 11 equal parts. In this instance, 11 equal parts. That's an unusual number. If you divide most numbers by 11, you're going to get a remainder. And to measure off that remainder with your ruler or your set squares accurately will pose a problem. So this construction allows us to divide any line into any number of equal parts using your compass, set squares, etc. So you have AB, and you draw a line from A at any angle going down your page. Notice that at any angle, so you're not measuring the angle, you just determine what angle you want. Draw that line going down your page. That's the construction line. I've highlighted it in red for you in this instance. What you will do after putting in that line is that you will mark off equal divisions. Now you can mark off those equal divisions using your compass by opening your compass to a convenient radius. Remember, convenient means not too big, not too small. And you go to A and you scribe one arc, go to where that arc intersects, scribe another arc, do the same thing, and you're marking off those 11 divisions going down that sloping line. Once you've marked off those divisions, and please note this can be done with a ruler as well, because you can just mark off 10 millimeter divisions going down the ruler, 5 millimeters, whatever, equal divisions, equal spaces that you want. But once you have marked off division number 11, then you will connect that to B, or to the end of the line that you were given. So once you have connected that, then you are employing the method that I explained here to allow you to get those parallel lines from each of those divisions. And when you check at the top, then these spaces will be equal, and you would have divided this line AB exactly into the 11 equal parts. Now, with that in mind, then we want to be able to move to the next construction. But there's just one little thing I want to highlight to you before we step into that construction, and that relates to ratios and how you divide things if you have to use a ratio. So these blue circles that I've represented here are to be divided up into a set ratio. So in this instance, what you're seeing here is these 11 circles, and I've said to you I want them divided into a ratio of 3 to 2 to 6. What that means for you is that you will take 3, then take 2, then take 6. No problem. So if we look at what we've done here, then we have taken 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we've taken 2, 1, 2. And what is left back here should be the 6. So these 11 circles are now divided proportionally into a ratio of 3 to 2 to 6. And we bear that in mind then for our next construction, which is to divide a line proportionally. Now, in this instance, what we're doing for dividing this line proportionally is the exact same thing that you did at the top, but we are adding the numbers that we were given in the ratio. So 3 plus 2 plus 6 gives us 11. So we will proceed now like we are dividing this line into 11 equal parts. Same steps as before. Line at any angle, step off 11 equal divisions, and join the last division to the end of the line, or the last division to B. Now, once you have done that, what we're doing then is counting off the ratio. So if you look here, we have 1, 2, 3, and we've marked off number 3. This line then will be parallel to the line drawn in for B at the bottom. So we will count again, 1, 2, and we will end up with the next parallel line. So that's starting to show us the ratio. Then we will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that will give us the last parallel line. Using the same method that was used previously, then this line is now divided proportionally into the ratio that is required. I will need you guys to practice these constructions. It's very, very important that you do. Once you have practiced these constructions, then I will be able to set you the appropriate questions relative to these constructions. So please practice, and I will very shortly send you some questions just to reinforce what we would have done in the last 2 lessons. Thank you for being a good class. Enjoy the rest of your day.